Happy New Year's, everybody. Welcome back to Podcast King, hosted by me, Draya King. And this is episode 5. I'm feeling some good vibes in here today. Shout out to Roman. Shout out to Christian. And our special guest today is Porn King, Malcolm Bracey.
Yes, indeed.
How do you feel?
I'm pretty good.
Yeah? How was your New Year's?
It was cool. I did like a real, sit back at the house. I went to my friend's house for a little bit, just had some champagne.
Okay.
Went right back home. I was like taking it easy, you know.
Give us one major New Year's resolution that you put on your vision board or something.
I usually don't make them because about time New Year's comes around, I'm so far into what I want to do anyways that I'm not gonna. It's like a lot of people start the gym in January and then by February they're gone. But it's just I had already had what I was gonna do for this year planned out last year.
So what is that? Give us some deets.
Well, last year around this time I opened up a store.
Okay.
It was a warehouse space in a store with my friends at Rare House. That has slowly not been a thing for a while, but it's slowly starting to pick back up. So I'd say the store, opening the store back up and getting that back right is one of my top things to do this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So give us a little more insight on what that store will hold.
The store is going to be a lot of Porn Hoodie stuff. I'm starting a magazine as well. I'm already pretty much done with it. I'm just working on the funding of it.
Yeah.
And a bunch of other designers and we have a few curated people who we want to be in the store, but just cool black owned stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of vague, but that's all we kind of have at this point.
Okay, no, that's dope. I love it.
Yeah.
Just to give you guys a little background, I actually went to one of your parties over the summer last year, and that's when we started following each other and just, staying in the socials.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was planning to go to New York for Fashion Week in September, and I seen that you made a post about you were having a show and you needed models, and you were telling the models you already had about the the dress rehearsals and stuff.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, let me reach out and see what is this about? And then you had me a part of your show in New York, and I was really, really happy to be a part of that. So thank you.
Yeah.
Tell me about putting that show together. Shout out to Michi, by the way.
Oh yeah, Michi, great guy. I don't know, all my shows are pretty random, so it's just I have a show whenever. I don't follow the fashion season because it's way too hard to keep up with as an independent designer.
Yeah.
But I just have them whenever, wherever. I have slightly a network in New York now, so I try to do a show out there once a year.
Okay.
But I pretty much just curate a show. The last show was the whole theme was the Walk of Shame. So it's based upon clothes that you would just throw on on the way out of somebody's house. Yeah, so it was that was pretty fun.
Cute.
Yeah, I don't know. That was it. It was a pretty good show though. Every time I'm in New York, it's it's a good time.
So you as the Porn King made your debut in 2015.
Yep.
Tell me about the turnout for your first party that you ever threw.
I started off as a painter. I was throwing art galleries and stuff, and it would be a party. So the art gallery would be a party, and I've been doing that since 2014. And they just turned into parties, and then once I made Porn Hoodies, they would turn into fashion shows and parties somehow.
Okay.
I really don't understand the direction it went, but it worked out for the best because I was able to be a designer and be good at promoting my shows. So it's just a lot of people would come to shows and have a good time, and it just worked out, I guess.
I guess it's kind of a little self-explained already, but what was the inspiration behind the Porn Hoodies brand?
Me just liking porn, being a fan of porn. My dad was a painter as well, and he would paint like a lot of nude women and stuff. So like growing up, it was kind of like embedded in me in a way. Okay. And I didn't really notice that until like much later in life. But yeah, I just wanted something that the deeper meaning behind like what I do is that like surfacing porn like in a public setting, it's usually something that's like private. So it's like putting it out in public. I would just wanted people to maybe think about like what they liked and why they liked it, and if they're offended, why they're offended.
Right.
Like it was kind of like
it's so raunchy.
Yeah, it's kind of like an experiment in a way, just to like read people's minds on like what they're into and why they're into it type of thing. But yeah, it turned out to be something that I've been doing for so long now. It's just like I don't think I'll ever stop, but yeah.
Okay, so I have to ask, what is your favorite type of porn to watch?
Oof, it changes.
What was it today?
Today, what did I watch? I'm pretty sure I watched some porn earlier. What was I watching? Something with a big booty somebody.
Okay,
like,
no, that's
right. Usually that's usually the go-to is big booty something. Like,
okay, have you ever made a porn yourself?
Not myself. Like, I haven't been the actress, but I have like shot people having sex before.
Okay, like director?
Yeah.
Okay, that's cute. I've always wanted to do that, actually.
That's more of my lane. Like, I'm not really a porn star. I'm not built porn star-esque. So I'd rather be behind the scenes anyways. Like,
your AKA is Taylor Swift's black boyfriend. Yeah. But have you ever considered like the Black Hugh Hefner?
That would be cool. I like Taylor Swift's black boyfriend just because it's funny and like it's just very memorable, and my girlfriend's white, so it's just like it's even more funny, like because I'm kind of like living it, and it was just like some joke that I randomly made. But people know me more as Taylor Swift's black boyfriend than anything. Like, I've met countless numbers of people, and I'm like, hey, I'm Malcolm, and they're like, okay, and I'm like, Taylor Swift's black boyfriend. They're like, oh shit, yeah, I've been following you for years.
Okay.
I'm like, oh, that's cool.
So tell us something about Porn Hoodies that you want to expand on.
I would like to just be like a empire. Like, really, I would like to be like Playboy. Like, that's my goal with everything I'm doing, is starting this magazine and kind of just like be in the forefront of pretty much sex culture in the future and like all forms of it. Like, when we start doing VR porn, like, I need there to be like porn hoodies in the VR world. Like I don't know, I just want to be on top of that in every element I can be that fits like my ideas and stuff, you know.
Okay, so you want to be like the more modern Playboy.
Yeah.
Is there going to be a mansion involved? Because I want to go to the mansion parties.
I mean, I hope so. Like, I'm waiting for that mansion, the studio
I'm trying
apartment.
to get the mansion parties. So
yeah,
once you get that started, let me know. I'll be there in my bunny suit. Or actually, because Hugh has like the Playboy bunnies, what would you call your muses?
I've been trying to think of that for years. Like, I don't know what to call people. Like, I would just call them people.
Okay, your porn stars.
Yeah, a whole bunch of porn stars. Like,
okay, cute. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's really cute. Is there any endeavors that you're doing outside of Porn Hoodies that you want to talk about?
Yeah, I'm currently like working on buying like land and stuff. If I want to have a show in London or New York, I'll have the venue for it already. Like, I'll own it and do that. And also, I'd like to like grow my own like cotton and stuff for like my clothes, and like, I don't know, just have everything like owned by me instead of like having to outsource everything, because I don't know, I've had to do so much on my own already. I don't want to ever have to rely on people really at the end of the day. I'd rather have it myself.
The Podcast King show is obviously to promote independent talents, content creators, entrepreneurs, etc. And you're obviously one of them. I want to know how involved are you with the Porn Hoodie collections? Like, are you like picking literally every single image to put on the product, or like do you collaborate with somebody else?
Yeah, pretty much. Like I do everything for my brand. Like I don't have anybody who works with me. Like it's like I do. Well, that's a far out thing to say. Like now I do, but like essentially I create like the images, I design the clothes, I go get the garments. But now I have like I used to make like literally make everything, like sew it together, but it was just like too time consuming.
Yeah.
But now I have somebody who like I'll have the image or the design, I'll send it out to him. His name is Antonio. He has like a small well, it's pretty big now, but like clothing manufacturing company. And my friend Drew does like he sews and stuff like that, so sometimes I'll hand him some clothes to like sew up, but like for the most part I do like everything in my brand.
When you did the sewing yourself, were you doing customs or were you just making every size just to have it?
Both. Yeah, wow. I was doing custom pieces and I was just like making different sizes for everybody. Like it just got to a point where I was like, I don't like sewing. Like I found out quickly. It was only a year of me like making all my clothes, and I was like, I'm not gonna be doing this for long.
When I was in high school, I used to be really into like DIYs. So I would always be like sewing patches or like, you know, making the little distressed jeans and shit. And it was fun. But when I like got into it and people started wanting me to do it for them, I was just like, yeah, no, this is not my vibe. I'm not a designer. I'm not anything like that. So I totally feel you when you're like, okay, it's time to outsource and put a team together to start creating the product a little more efficiently.
Yeah.
How do you go about selecting models for your merch?
It's usually just the people around me, honestly. Like a lot of the time, like people who come to shows and stuff, like every time at a show someone will be like, well, I want to model next, and I'll listen to them. Like if you want to model, I'll be like, well, stay in contact with me and you will model like the next one. Like I'm not picky at all. I like it to be all types of people and like everybody. So it's like if everybody's gonna wear my clothes, like I'm not gonna just have like some tall white models like everybody else used
Right.
to prior to kind of recently, where like there's different genres of people like modeling now, but it really just used to be one type of way for a long time. So
Nice.
Yeah, I'm not with that.
Also, shout out to Isabella. I know that she models for you sometimes.
Oh yeah.
And Isabella was like one of the first people I met when I moved to California, and she's always been so supportive of everything I've done and all this stuff. So shout out to Bella. So yeah, okay. So all I heard basically was there's gonna be a Draya King Porn Hoodies collaboration coming soon. So y'all check that out.
No.
Okay, so new year, new vibes.
Yeah.
What is the first thing you want to release this year?
I'm working on a meditation mixtape.
Ooh, no, that's dope.
Which is like hella random, but I figure like a lot of my friends do music, and I do music as well. Like I rap and stuff. Who doesn't? But I want to like curate something to make people feel better at this time, because like meditation has really helped me just become a better person. Really, like having that time to yourself, no matter how much time it is important. And it's just like I want to be a part of that in like some type of way. So I just been curating music and like actually making the music for a meditation album that's coming out probably in like a week or so.
What is it called?
A lot going on.
A lot going on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there any features on it?
There isn't. It's just sounds.
Nobody's like doing their vocals anywhere?
No, it's just a lot of sounds. It's like music you'll hear like in an airport or something.
Okay.
Like, you might want to listen to it in an airport. I do, because I have anxiety, like horrible anxiety, so I have to have something on. But yeah, it's just meant for that.
How old are you, by the way?
29.
When you were 19, did you imagine yourself to be the person you are today?
Yeah, honestly, I've been the same person since I can remember. Like I always knew I was gonna be exactly how I was, because I haven't changed. I'm just like, I was literally like a little fucking creepy ass kid like watching porn at like 5 years old. So it's just like nothing's really changed. I've just gotten slightly taller.
Okay. I'm crying. Tell me about like your support. Do you have support from like mom, dad, friend? Oh wait, you did say your dad used to paint naked women. How is he about your brand today? Like, is he super supportive about it?
My dad passed away, unfortunately, but it's all good. But he was, I don't know if he would have supported it. He was like a really hardcore like Muslim. So like I grew up Muslim and still believe in a lot of like Muslim traditions and pray every day. But yeah, I don't know if he would have liked it. I'm sure he would have supported me though. My mom supports me and my grandma does, and my grandma's a Jehovah's Witness and my mom is a Christian, but they somehow still support me because they just know that it's me. I think like they support whatever I do. So I didn't really have a problem with it, thankfully, which is really surprised me all the time.
That's really sweet.
Yeah.
And rest in peace to your dad.
Yeah, he was a cool dude.
He seems like an inspiration behind the man you are today.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I try to wear I have a picture with him on it. I have a T-shirt with a picture of him on it that I usually wear at like almost every fashion show. So, yeah.
I like that. That's so cute. What advice would you give younger creators right now coming up in the industry of creating their own merch and paving their own way in entertainment and fashion?
It's just like staying solid like to yourself overall, because like I started Porn Hoodies in 2015. I was living in North Carolina, and no one liked my idea at all. Like nobody, not even my friends around me. Like they're like, please do not wear that when we go out. Like this shit is embarrassing. And to this day, there's still people who feel that way, but like I knew how big my idea was and I knew what I could do with it and where it could go. So I was like, I had to ignore it really and just like believe in what I was doing. And that's the only way I feel that you can actually get any type of success, quote unquote, is just like sticking to what you really believe, no matter like what other obstacles are around it or whatever. But yeah, just staying solid to yourself.
Have you always been like this, kind of like grounded and positive about everything? Like what is like something that you ever feel discouraged about or that you've had to like block out that you felt like was tarnishing your growth?
There's been a handful of things, like mostly people. It's like there's a lot of people around like when I was younger who just like weren't really helping me grow, so I just kind of had to like not be around as much, and it kind of was my only obstacle, is that because like I really just love people, and like it's hard for me to just like cut off relationships, even though like I might be doing it for a higher purpose and like maybe I can always come back to it, but just knowing what you need to do and knowing who's gonna help and who's gonna stop the growth is like something that I've had to struggle with doing, but yeah, it always works out in the end, you know.
Have you ever been toxic?
Yeah, for sure. for sure. There was a point in my life, I was just talking to my friend the other day on the phone, like one of my old childhood friends, and he was just like talking about things I used to do. And I was like, damn, I was kind of fucked up. And it's just like, everybody kind of has to go through that. It's just like, how long are you going to be in that, like, zone? Like, how long are you going to stay fucked up? Or, like,
okay.
Because some people don't get out of it. And it's just like, that's the most important thing.
Too many people stay there.
Yeah, it's just like being toxic is fine. It's just like how long you're going to stay there is like the question.
Yeah. I feel like I'm finding my redemption these days. I feel like I used to be the type of person to like bully before I get bullied.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think if you don't like go through that, you really just don't know who you are at the end of the day.
Type
like
shit,
you got to go through like the worst of you to figure out the best of you, really. Like,
ooh, I like that.
Yeah, you can't just like be at your best without knowing what the bottom feels like. And it's like I done been there plenty of times in my life. So it's just like coming back from that, a lot of people I feel like are scared of like that change, and a lot of people are scared of like that growth and will use it like to like keep them at that spot and to keep other people at that spot. Right. So yeah.
Do you think that there will ever be a peak for you, or do you want to just keep going until you're like literally done?
Yeah, I don't think there's gonna be a peak for me. Like I was talking to my same friend as previously yesterday about like people's peaks and like how like Drake has reached pretty much how famous he can be, and it's just like he can still do things, but like he's kind of reached that point of like you're not gonna get any more famous. Like people aren't gonna love your album really any much more than anything you've done before because you've done so much. And I've progressed in such like a slow way that I feel like about time I peak, I'm gonna be gone.
Do you want kids?
Yeah.
How many?
Maybe like 2.
Would you want your kids to take on the porn empire?
I'd pray so. Like I'd hope so. I think it's disappointing that like the fact that you can work really hard in life and then potentially like be a millionaire and have a lot of like success, quote unquote, and then pass it on to a kid who like doesn't necessarily want to do that, and that's not his fault or anything, but it's just like all you worked for can kind of end in one generation. And especially with black people, it's like we're not really taught to have generational wealth. So it's just like I'd pray that if I get wealthy, that my kids somebody in my family will be able to like have as much ambition as I do and like continue the things on.
Thank you again for being here with me. I appreciate your time. I'm looking forward to that meditation album coming next week.
Yes, sir.
Plug the name again.
A lot going on.
Drop the date.
Sometime this month. I'm a real rapper. You don't know when it's coming. Sometime it's gonna be out like 2025.
But next week.
Yeah, next week.
Period. Thank you guys for tuning in. Until next time.